Hi, and welcome back in the wonderful world of Raidborn, which is a first-person sandbox action RPG with a physics-based combat system, uniquely random-generated levels, housing, pets, and much more. And the random generation again is the topic of the video, and I have brought some first results with me. We will take a look how the generation looks. We will play around with the generation system, and I will show you what tricks I used to make all this work and to set up all the assets and to make it easier for me to achieve good results. First, I would like to show you how the generation system works and how the result looks like. And I played around with some values, made it relatively extreme, just as you can see what the generation system is capable of. And a disclaimer here, of course, this is not really final and there are no details there, and it's just the level layout. And also I just have one room per room type, or tile, better said, one tile per tile type. That means that the levels are a little bit boring because you have no real variety. This will of course change in the final game. What is also pretty cool is that I can regenerate in runtime, which you also see here in the background footage, that I can just press a button and then the whole generation process starts again, and he also throws away the old result. And I think it's really cool, and I created some very interesting results. Of course, there are some issues here and there, and you know, there is sometimes the wrong wall placed at an exit point and stuff like that. And you also will see very long corridors because I use the corridors to evade rooms. For example, let's say I want to place the end room somewhere and it can't be placed because there is another room already. Then it tries to generate those corridors around the obstacle and then places the end room. And there are some issues, so that it doesn't stop generating evasion tiles until it can place the room, and that means sometimes you have extremely long corridors. I will of course limit this in the final game and in the final generation system. But so far, enjoy the footage. The next thing I did was to create a Blender plugin for exporting my tiles, because they consist of different subparts and it's relatively annoying to select them, export them, and you have to make sure that you didn't miss a part and stuff like that. So it's a pretty annoying task, and I decided to automate this task and to just import all those different parts without any hassle. And that also is my first Blender plugin, by the way. It was a little bit tricky, but ultimately I made it, and it's very cool that I have this plugin now, and it makes it so much easier for me to export those models, those different parts of each tile. Now I will show you the process, that you see how easy it now is to import those tiles to my game engine. So first I enable the plugin in Blender, then I execute it with the press of a button, and bam! That's kind of it. Now it is in the game engine, it's there. And then what I did is to also create a plugin for the game engine, which by the way is Unity, and that plugin sets up the models to be ready for generation. So I again only have to click on a button, and that's it. Everything's set up. You know, the physics, the scripts it needs to be able to be generated, and everything is just set up perfectly. And that really makes my life so much easier. And I love automation. I said this earlier in an earlier devlog video, but it's really cool, especially for me as a solo developer. I don't have the time to do all this over and over again because I have to do everything, you know. So it's always great to have a time saver. Okay, and last but not least, let's take a look how this looks in first person. So here's some first exploration of that generation results. Of course, that are just the room layouts, there are no details there. It's just the player with no visuals, stuff going on, no effects and stuff. Only me and a light attached to the player, just that it is not too dark, and just walking around, but I think it's still pretty cool. And yeah, at first I had some weird bugs going on, and there were rooms all over the place, and walls where there should not be walls, and roofs where there should not be. But I ultimately, of course, got it fixed, and yeah, here's the final result. Check it out. Okay, so that's it for the footage so far. I really hope you enjoyed watching, and yeah, I really like the generation system. I love to play around with it. It's just crazy to press a button and have a level already there, and it's also a lot of fun to increase the values to extreme values, like, hey, generate a level with 400 tiles or something like that. Then you have just a crazy large level which would take hours and hours to explore and to complete. And it's really crazy. Or you can just create crazy layouts with a lot of different side rooms and alternative routes, and you can get lost in the dungeon very quickly. And I think that's very cool, very cool. And I'm really excited to see that in the final game, or to see that with more different rooms, and to also see this for the caves and for the exterior levels where I use the same system. And now once again, it's your turn. Tell me what you think about the whole generation topic. Tell me what you would like to see. Tell me what you're excited about. Tell me what you like, what you don't like. How can I improve my videos? Just share your thoughts with me. I'm really dedicated about the game. I'm really dedicated about the videos I make, and I would like to make it as good as possible. So I always listen to your feedback and try to make everything as good as possible. Okay, that's it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed watching. Have a great day, stay cool, and see you next time.